Ooh, are you ready, girls? Ooh, are you ready now, now? Oh, yeah. Kickstart my heart, never gonna stop. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, that Motley Crue song, Kickstart My Heart. How about it, y'all? KJ's in Bristol. It's Bristol, baby. Wayne had to go to the Lowe's home improvement store this morning. We had a very interesting morning here in Bristol, Tennessee, waiting to see the night race of NASCAR. Our hot water heater started to leak. What happened was I got up this morning. Okay, I got up. I went out here, was drinking my coffee. I got up early, y'all. And I was like, oh, yes, this is just a totally different environment. This is good. We're going to get away from everything. We're going to get away from Wayne being on the freaking phone all the time, talking to clients or being on job sites. And it's just going to be him and I, right? Good. Hello, Chris Arnett, Beach Lady, Jill Schneider. I live for now, Lori McCone, D, and Edie Ruth. Hello, y'all. You think I'm going to leave y'all out of OKJ's adventures into nowhere? Anyway, back to the leaking hot water heater on the RV here. Now, we don't have no freaking state of the art RV, but we do have an RV. It's a nice one. I think it's nice. But I got up, I was out here, I was drinking my coffee, having a ciggy, and I thought, well, I got to move around, you know. I slept real good last night, y'all. And so I started walking around the RV and I started hearing this like trinkling. It wasn't quite like OKJ's fountain on her side porch, but it was a little sound like water. And I looked over on the RV and it was just leaking down the side through this vent thing that I know nothing about, right? So Wayne had walked down to this because we're at this like camping area where all the RVs are, and I'll give y'all a span of it here in a minute. But anyway, he walked down here to get us some biscuits and gravy with some sausage and egg, right? Because these people at this campground here, they know how to cook, right? And I wasn't gonna cook. I mean, I wasn't gonna cook. So he's down there, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is. It's leaking. You know, he's gone to get the biscuits and gravy and everything. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of meet him halfway because he had to walk just just a little bit down through here to get to the place where he was going to get our breakfast. And he's walking back with these two containers, these to-go containers of our breakfast and everything. And I'm smiling at him, and then he's like, oh, you just meet me halfway? I'm like, yeah. And I didn't want to run up to him and go, honey, there's something leaking from the RV or anything like that. You know, this is his vacation too. I've gotten to this point where I don't sweat the small stuff. And I said, here, let me hold the containers. And I said, honey, I think we've got a little leak on the RV. I don't think it's anything major. It's not coming out like a fountain or nothing, but we need to look at it. So he said, okay. So I'm smelling the breakfast. It's smelling so good. We're both starving to death. We want to eat, but we want to get to the priority of where the hell this leak is coming from, right? So I bring the food into the RV and sit it on the table. I don't bother to open the container because I know it's going to look good as hell and I'm going to start to want to eat it. And he's out here walking around here trying to see what the deal is. So I want to be the big person too and go around and try to help him if I can. So we get around there and he says, oh, immediately. And let's not forget, y'all, Wayne is a licensed plumber, but he plumbs residential, commercial. He knows a little bit about RVs since we've had it, but not a whole lot. So he removes the little vent and you see this little spray coming from this little knob. And he's like, oh, that's the hot water heater plug thing. And he's like, it's no big deal. He said, go get me the channel wrench. So I go and look under the RV in our little tool area in there, open up the thing, get it out, walk over there. He's messing with it. And he's like saying to me, well, I think I'm going to need some of that not electrical tape, but the plumbing tape that you put around the threads of the little plugs. And so I dug in the little tote thing in there and I found some, and I walked back over there and he told me to turn the water off, which I did. And we thought we'd fixed it and everything. He said, go turn the water back on. So I went and turned the water back on, and lo and behold, there was still a tiny little leak left in it, right? I don't know what got into him, but he's standing right in front of it, and I am just right over his shoulder, and he decides, without remembering for me to turn the water off, that he's just going to take the plug out and re-thread it or do something, figure out what the problem is. And folks, it was like freaking Niagara Falls. I mean, it just went all over us. He looked like he pissed himself. I mean, I looked like I had just stepped out of some dang waterfall or something. Or somebody sprayed me with a hose. It was crazy. And so we're sitting there and we're laughing, and the people behind us are looking over at us like perhaps both of us need to go to a padded room. But we're sitting there, we're soaked from head to bottom, and let's just not forget, we just gotten dressed, y'all, for our day. So we have to go and turn the water off, go back in, change out our clothes. But the whole time we were doing all this, y'all, we were laughing. It would have been so easy for me to go, gosh, Wayne, why? Or Wayne could have threw the channel locks down and said, the hell with this, or anything. But we decided we were going to laugh about it. To make a long story shorter than it should have been, shit happens, y'all. Even when you're on vacation, even in your everyday life, things happen. And you have, and I have, and everyone in the world has, those immediate reactions that sometimes we can't control. You know, like when you're walking through the house and you stump your foot, you say every freaking bad word known to man. It just comes flowing out. Or in that moment when the water hits you, this is metaphor speaking, the water hits you and you're in that moment of shock. You do have that moment. You do have that moment to just say, how am I going to react to this? Because I do. I don't know about you. I mean, I'd like to think everybody could, but I can only speak for me. We all can only react the way we decide we're going to react. It's just like this whole idea of, how people on these shows, these crime shows, where they're, they talk to the loved one and they say, well, they're acting strange. They didn't act like someone who, just lost their loved one, but people act differently about different things. And that's true, y'all. Everybody reacts about whatever's going on in their life the way they do. What I'm trying to say is that no matter how you react, do your best, y'all, because I'm working on it to try to channel out positivity. I mean, goodness gracious, y'all. The bottom line is we've got enough shit on our plates in life, and our reactions are our own. We need to do the best we can. Laugh through the tears, says Jennifer Cheney. Laughter is contagious, says Edie Ruth. I'm chuckling. Zenaida Rivera says, good morning, people. So we're out here in Bristol, and the race ain't till Friday night and Saturday night. And as many times as we've been up to Bristol, we've never once thought for a second that we might go and find a body of water somewhere to go fishing while we're waiting to go to the race. Because it's either go fishing or go shopping or go just ride around and check things out, or you're here at the RV. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I would love to see Wayne sit in that gravity chair over there and not do anything. But it's impossible because he has a phone. And as long as he's got his phone on him, he's constantly on it with someone pertaining to his business. And I just want to just take that phone and I want to put it in a cup of water or something. You two are a good match. Shit happens is right. Treasure every moment. My husband has been gone for 8 years, so I've learned to make my own repairs, and that is funny, says Maggie Lee. Well, I'll tell you what, Maggie Lee, you can learn a lot when you need to, right? I've had to learn some things, but I am no good at anything other than here are the channel locks, Wayne. Or let me go get this plumbing tape for you, Wayne. Or if he needs to take my fingers because he's got real big hands and fingers, sometimes he'll use my fingers a little bit, but I don't know any of this mechanical stuff. What I do know how to do is to get the thing ready, get it packed properly with nice clean sheets and covers and blankets and food, and make sure everything's sweeped out and freshened up. Use some disinfectant, yada yada yada. That's the things that I know how to do. He does what he does. I do what I do. Hubby and I were cutting wood in the forest. I fell on my buttocks twice, says D. Well, I'll tell you, that's one time for each cheek, D. So each time you fell on your ass, you had two cheeks there. God knows you had both cheeks. Hopefully you didn't hit down on one side of the butt cheek twice. Because usually the first time, depending on how you fall, you'll be okay that first time. KJ's got a little cushion there on mine. It might, but that second time, if I hit it twice, I'm liable to get a bruise there. Yes, Jennifer Cheney. Did y'all ever get to enjoy some wonderful food? Yes, I guess I should have finished my story, right? So we turned all the water off. He's gone to Lowe's, but we had our to-go containers. And so he's like, turn the water off. Then we went in there, sat down at the kitchen table, opened them up. There was gravy and biscuits with sausage and egg. I threw a little pepper on it, a little extra on mine. And we sat there, we held hands, we said our prayer, and we ate. And it was delicious. It was wonderful. It was living a life of not sweating the small stuff, knowing that all he needed was this little plug. And here I am, okay, saying, well, what if you get to Lowe's and you can't find that plug? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? No, it wasn't like that. But I was like, honey, you sure you can find that plug at Lowe's? So, I mean, it's just, I guess, thinking things through. Edie Rue says, my aunt said the key to a long marriage is to always assist your man when he's working and fixing things. Sounds like Wayne is a forever man, says Edie Ruth. Great point, Edie Ruth. Now, hear me out. I help him on some things. I'm not going to sit here and say I help him on everything. But I do help him when he comes home and he's talking about this stuff that's going on with his construction company. Plumbing, electric, flooring, lighting fixtures. So he'll talk about those things that are, whether I got to go, we've got to replace this or this. And I listen to him. Because I know he needs that in order for him to remember everything he's got to remember. And I'm actually, it's kind of interesting hearing what he goes through day by day. And we've been married a little while, so I get to hear some of the same things over and over again. But for the most part, each of his custom jobs are a little different. The clients are way different. Some of them are really easygoing and some of them are real assholes. But the point is no matter what a person does in their life, number one, it's their own business. How they want to do anything they want to do, whether they want to do anything at all. But in KJ's world, I'm going to try my best to give it my best now, because years before y'all, you're looking at me right now. I worried about everything. I bitched and complained about everything when I was younger. And I still do a little bit of that now, but not to the extent I did back then. It's such a waste of time. It really is. I realized that a lot of that was me venting out, but there are other ways to do that. Hello, Carrie Ann. Hi. Hello, Fancy Nancy Bergbauer. Jennifer Cheney says, good day to all of you beautiful people. Maggie Lee says, aw. Susan Long says, good morning. The older we get, the wiser we get, the more mellow. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Julie Co. I mean, how many times have y'all said it? I've said it. Things that really pissed me off years ago just don't matter right now. And as you can plainly see, okay, Jay ain't worried about looking good over here at the freaking campground at the Bristol races. All I care about is getting my dang Red Bull and get it drank, get me some wings going. And Kimberly says to worry and to bitch and complain, it just takes too much energy and nobody's listening. You know, there was a part of my life, y'all, back in the good old days, where I thought the louder I was, like if I shouted something, if I got angry and started shouting, that they would hear me. Get for real. The louder my voice got, the more people would shut me out. This goes back to what I said a couple of days ago. Some people find it when I get all bent, they find it disturbing. Well, I guess they need to stop and think about what I'm getting bent. What am I getting loud about, right? Doesn't help to vent. You just make others around you miserable. That's true. But that's also got to have a little caveat there, Janelle. Are we supposed to vent all by ourselves? To make sure nobody's around while we're venting, however we vent. There should be people in our life that we can vent to that's going to understand that's just how she is. I love her or I love him. You know, just as long as I'm not taking it out on anybody, right? If I'm venting, whatever I'm doing, if people are around me, I mean, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I'm not going to show my ass in the middle of a Walmart just because I'm mad because the price of something or anything, and just start yelling and get everybody in the aisles thinking that maybe I need to be hauled off to Bellevue. Maggie Lee says the older we get, the more we realize don't sweat the small stuff. Miss DMC says the strawberry apricot Red Bull is really good. It's in an orange can. Oh, yeah. Andrew likes those, Miss DMC. Because when I saw him drinking, I thought it was like an orange Red Bull. And he's like, no, Mom, it's apricot. Good morning, CSI Crowdsource Eliminations. I'm glad I'm getting signal up here, y'all. I wasn't sure that the live stream was even going to happen. Jennifer Cheney says, I have to vent for sure, and thank you, Jesus. We all have people to vent to and ask forgiveness when we get too loud. Pray when we get too loud. Right, Jennifer. You're right on board with how I feel about things. Susan Long says, venting is good. Norma Guerrero says, we need coffee. Well, guess what, Norma? I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I had my fill of coffee. And you'd think that coffee would carry me over to where I wouldn't want this nice 12 fluid ounces of Red Bull. But I got a long day ahead of me. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping that we're going to go find a sufficient spot. But if not, there's this bakery, y'all. It's called the Blackbird Bakery, and it's here in Bristol. And they make these huge cinnamon rolls. And they make those long dong or whatever, those big chocolate donuts with the white. See, I like the white filling in them, not the yellow. I don't like the yellow cream. But we might go to the Blackbird and pick up a few pastries there. Get high on the sugar, right? KLH Arts says coffee because murder is wrong. I got a good one for you, KLH. Given enough coffee, old KJ could rule the world. Ha ha ha, right? Yes, Norma. I don't eat a lot of sweets. If I'm gonna eat something like on a regular basis, I'll admit it. I like Jelly Belly jelly beans in the fruit bowl flavor. That's what I like. I can buy them, put them in a great big bowl, and sit and eat Jelly Belly jelly beans, but they got to be the fruit flavor. They can't be. I don't like the black ones. I don't like the other crazy like popcorn flavors or whatever. I like fruit. Well, right. Well, Nicole, Can't KJ say long dong instead of a long john? You're not getting any kind of weird vibe in that, are you, Nicole? Because I said long john, what was it, long dong? Well, they've got pastries called ding dongs. Come on, live a little. I don't like ding dongs. I do not like ding dongs, Nicole. You know why? Because the chocolate on the outside tastes waxy. If it's not that creamy Hershey's, Nestle's, freaking Russell Stover's chocolate, the hell with it. Maggie Lee says, I'm going to the bakery today. I'm going to get me some croissants. Oh, I love croissants. They're so good. You can split them, maybe put some chicken salad in them. Or if you want to really go overboard, you can slap a bunch of warm, fresh croissants with a bunch of butter and some, what is that? Sorghum. Oh, yeah, some molasses. Woo-wee! Jennifer Cheney, you call OKJ a wonderful mess? Well, it takes a wonderful mess to know a wonderful mess. Right, Miss DMC. I don't like the chocolate you can peel off at all. And Fancy Nancy's going to sit here and rub it all in, y'all. She's saying I'm eating a homemade sourdough cinnamon roll. Okay, Fancy Nancy. Just because you won't do that right now, you won't tell us all. I'm happy for you, by the way. But since you're going to rub it in, when I go to the Blackbird Bakery later on and we get our great big cinnamon rolls and our long dongs, I'm going to take a picture of it and I'm going to put it on the community wall in your honor, Fancy Nancy. Maggie Lee says, you said dong. Are we gonna get hung up on long dong, long john? Remember what OKJ says. Don't sweat the small stuff. Here we go. Carrie says, how do you eat your Hostess cupcakes? I have to eat the white drizzle first, then the chocolate top, then the white center, and finally the cake part. Oh, Carrie Ann, honey, you ain't been living. Honey, you ain't been living to eat your Hostess cupcake that way. You're supposed to open that bad boy up, eat the white stuff out. First and foremost, make sure your hands are clean. Get that fingers in there and get it out. Let it just melt in your mouth. And then from there, you take the soft Hostess chocolate top, the icing top, because sometimes you'll go into these stores and you'll get one and they'll be hard as a rock. Okay, I ain't gonna take that. But if they're nice and soft, I roll it up a little bit and I eat it like a little French fry. Then I eat the cake. CSI's wanting us all to know the good side of KJ saying the things I do. Guess it's better than short dongs. Hi, Johan. Ian Austin, Bristol, Tennessee. I guess if you were looking at a map at Tennessee, it's up in the northeast part of the state. And there's this great big NASCAR race that goes on here twice a year. But this is the big boy because this is the night race. And the only way that I can explain this racetrack, if you don't know nothing about it, is I take the view of Tony Stewart, who used to be a NASCAR driver. When asked, what is a Bristol racetrack like? He says it's like climbing into a volcano. It's a beautiful Coliseum. It's kind of Coliseum looking. There isn't a bad seat in the whole place. It's a little short half-mile track. Oh, no, it's a quarter-mile track, excuse me. It's very small. It's a short track. And they just go round and round and round and round. I mean, at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. And you're talking about 30 freaking cars. And it's loud. And you hear and you feel the vibrations. And you see the wrecks. And nobody hopefully will get hurt. That's always been my prayer. Coffin Doffer Sue says the best track in NASCAR. I agree with that. You and I are on the same page on that. Hello, Sunflower Sammy. Have a great time this weekend at the races. Well, you have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, and to all of y'all. No matter if you're staying home, if it's just going to be another day, make it the best day you can. There's no reason not to. Sure, I'm up here at this race. I'm out here with the RB. Folks, the water heater was leaking this morning and exploded on Wayne and I. And other things could happen. He could come back from Lowe's and tell me there wasn't a plug, and guess what? Then we ain't got no hot water. What do I have to do? We'll have to walk down here and use the showers and all that instead of using it here. There's always a reason, and I'll tell you, if push come to shove, heck, back in the old days, people used to just take a big bowl of water, and that's how they wash themselves. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you, Mike Kabinley. These are prescription. I'm not wearing them to be cool. I'm wearing them to see, but I don't want to put my other glasses on because then I'll be squinting when I look into here. These are prescription, but I appreciate that. Appreciate it, Mike. So I told all of y'all last time we got together, I said, I'm going to try to share a little of my race weekend with y'all. I want to get together with all of y'all as much as I possibly can. You know KJ loves each and every one of you. Thanks for prayers. Finally getting a little rain in Texas. And instead of 115, we're at 88. Praise God, says Fancy Nancy. Well, it's not supposed to get over 84 degrees. That's a high. This morning when I got up to come out here to have coffee at 5 and 6 in the morning, I could see my breath. It was like, I think it was 53 or 54 degrees. So there is a change, y'all. Obviously, we all know, I guess it depends on where you live, that fall is upon us. Autumn is upon us. Maggie, the temperature here at this current moment is around, because I haven't checked it here in the last 30 minutes, but it's around 68. You see that we've got a breeze going. I might just, how about this? Is anybody interested? I could kind of give y'all a little idea of what it looks like around here. I'll get up, walk around. I don't know if my stream will do good, but just to give y'all an idea of what's going on around here. Y'all want to see it? Okay, here we go. We're going to, I'm not going to stay on screen. First of all, whoever owns this right here, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, this is like the freaking bomb. This is like, I know $1 million rig here. And look at their little, he's even got his own little golf cart. Isn't that cool? Look at the wheels on it. Now I'm going to give y'all a span around, all right? This is what we got. Look, y'all. I want y'all, can y'all still see? Okay. I want to show y'all. I got a friend down here I want y'all to meet. I think most of y'all have probably never met this person before, but this is a good friend of everybody's. I just want y'all to meet him. Hello there. How you doing, sir? You having a good morning? Everything going okay? Oh, yeah. You see what I'm saying, y'all? This ain't nothing. This is just Thursday. You wait till the weekend. Y'all check this out. Can you look in the distance, y'all? You see up the hills? There's another level, another level. Some of these rigs remind me of Elon Musk. Uh-oh, here comes oh, y'all, guess who's here? Guess who's driving up, y'all? Do you want to say hello to the race?
Good morning, everybody.
Did you find the plug?
I got the plug.
He's got the plug.
Get out of these people's way here.
Okay. He's back, y'all. So, Anyway, we've got a bunch of really diverse people that come to the races. Many different. We've got people from New York, Florida, a lot of people from Virginia, West Virginia, Texas. I mean, you get to where you meet these people. You've got something that y'all all enjoy, which is NASCAR, and it breaks down that barrier to where you can say, if we don't agree on anything else, we can agree that we love NASCAR. And Fancy Nancy and all of y'all that wish Mr. Wayne hello, I'll let him know here in a minute. Hi, Ellen. How are you? Are you having a good day? Sunflower Sammy says it's a whole thing racing. So fun. That sweet, sweet man Wayne. I'm going to tell you what, Sunflower Sammy, he's KJ's just sweet roll. He's my babe. I call him my sugar bear. He got the plug, Maggie Lee. Our hot water heater blew up in our face. We got soaked this morning. We laughed about it. Then we went in and had biscuits and gravy. That's called life, y'all. And by the way, while we're on the subject of KJ always bringing up this metaphoric stuff, just as everyone's different in life, it's almost kind of interesting that all of these different RVs and motorhomes and stuff, all of them are different. You don't see one that, like, here's two over here that look exactly alike. And then on top of it all, the vehicles they bring with them are different as well, which it's almost metaphoric for how everybody is so different in the world and how everyone deserves to think and be the way they are, whether other people think they're right or wrong. Everyone deserves to have life lived the way they want to live it. And most importantly, y'all, I can almost guarantee this, everyone in the world sees how they want to live their life. Doesn't necessarily translate into, well, I saw my life this way, this is how I'm living it. But folks, life also gets in the way of what we perceive we should be living. Does that make sense? In other words, if we've come up here a lot of times, experienced a lot of just the domestic aspect of setting up an RV and doing the RV thing and going to the races. And and when I first started doing this, I got a picture in my mind that this is gonna, you get it, this is gonna be just like on the TV. It cannot meet life cannot meet all of our expectations or the way that we think that life should be. Sometimes other things come into the picture that make it look different. Example, you want to have a picnic, right? You invite your family, you picture this wonderful day. You actually picture them with the blanket out on the ground, with the food just perfect and everything. And what happens? Everybody's getting along in your mind and everything. What happens? You go to the picnic. A few of your family members are arguing over some stupid shit. The ants are getting into the food. Guess what, y'all? We got a pop-up shower. Folks, life is going to deal it. We just have to pick up the hand, and whatever hand we've got, we got to make the best play of our life that we can. Trying to do my best, I can only speak for me, to think about others while at the same time taking care of myself and my self-care. Because I've got to be able to take care of myself in a humble and healthy way so that I can see and be able to perform in order to help other people. Lori McCollum says you only get one life, so you might as well enjoy it. And Lori, there are people out here, no matter what they do, no matter how good they are, no matter how hard they work, no matter whatever, they just don't get a break. They just don't get to enjoy life. There are children that are sitting in cancer hospitals right now that are making the best of their life, but it's hard to enjoy everything about life when life is coming at you. There is nothing wrong with those questions that come up in my mind that say, I wish that life was better, or I wish that things were different, or why does my life got to be this way? Why does somebody else's life have to be different than mine? Why can't this? Why can't that? It's okay to think those things, but it's not okay when it puts me in a freaking depression and blinds me, or at least blurs what's going on in the moment. Does OKJ enjoy my life at home as much as I'm enjoying my stay up here at Bristol at the races? Yes, but I'm enjoying it from it being a different environment, a different experience. And how different is it really since I've been coming up here for years and years and years? How different is it? It all has to do with OKJ's outlook, attitude, to suck it up when deep down I want to say the hell with this. And if I have to dang grit my teeth and smile, sooner or later that habit will form over the habit that I've had for many, many years, and that's basically shitting all over my day, which I'm real good at. I can shit all over my day real good. Ellen Malokin says, I'm enjoying my life. Well, good for you, Ellen. That's where it should start. It should start that way. If it's not exactly where you want it to be, if you're having some struggles, if there's some serious things going on, does that mean that you can't enjoy your life? Because it can't be. Those things that we're struggling with can't be taken up every second of the 24 hours of the week, of the month, of the year. Could it? There's got to be moments in there that we can take a deep breath in and out and say, you know what? I'm enjoying my life. The mere fact, Ellen, that you would say, I enjoy my life, just making that statement, that's an enjoyment. That's an enjoyment. Hello, Melissa Krantz. Yeah, Jennifer Cheney, exactly. We all go through. We all go through what we go through. It's just, some of it's more intense. Some of it's less. How about this? What if it's a problem in life that's really not a big problem at all, right? A person, say KJ's got this little itty bitty problem. And then my neighbor over here's got a great, big, terrible problem. But mine's little bitty. Well, what if I'm not taking care of myself enough to see that for what it is, and I can't handle it, that little itty bitty problem. But this person over here with this great, big, huge problem can just, it's like water off a duck's back. It's like water off a duck's back. Wish Dream Wish says, I'm going through a really hard time right now. Well, Wish Dream Wish, I know within my heart that you will get through it, one way or the other. Nothing is a forever thing in this world, except for perhaps if you have love. Love is a forever thing. But I'm talking about any kind of problems. Nothing lasts forever in terms of your problems. They're going to be resolved whether you do something about them or not. Nicole says, for most of us, it could always be worse. And I guess, Nicole, and that's a great point. Um, if I go around saying, well, it could be worse. But what if old KJ says, oh, I love my RV right here, but I'm looking over here at this great big $1 million rig. It could be better. What's the difference? That shows some dissatisfaction either way. If you really think about it, if you really stop and think about it. Well, Carrie Ann, I ain't got my mama either. And I think it was last year someone said, would you be my grandma? And I said, I'd be more than happy. And I guess that includes mama too. I am honored that anybody would want to even hear anything that I've got to say. Most importantly, I need you to understand it's not really about what I'm saying. It's what I get to hear from y'all. That's really what it's coming down to, y'all. Fancy Nancy says, wish, dream, wish, prayers for you. My mama used to say, this too shall pass. Ellen, a lot of my old stuff is important to me. This channel was started because of the Chad and Lori Daybell case. It's staying open to get through Chad Daybell's trial. The Rays on here, many of them, have been with me for a long time. Ray meaning research, analysis, and you. And you don't have to be a Ray if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Not that I'm telling anyone to do anything. Jennifer Chandy says it quite clearly. Justice through understanding. And you cannot understand something that you know nothing about, right? So when I talk about what's going on in my life, sometimes people on here can say, you know what, KJ? Let me help you, KJ, with some understanding. Because if this was a one-way street and anyone was looking to me for understanding, it's just not possible. KJ don't have all the answers. I wish I did. If I had all the answers, I'd give them to everybody. I want everybody to be happy, healthy. I want people to be whoever they want to be. And does it matter what I want anyway, right? The good news is that we're alive. We're breathing in and out. We have so many choices that we can make in our life. It took me a long time to realize that I'm still trying to figure it all out. And guess what? I'll never figure it all out. Maybe I'll get a little bit of understanding more than I did before through experience. I think that when the rubber meets the pavement, it's always been my desire to be able to think, stop and think and realize the value of thinking. Not thinking just because we have routines in that we've got things we've got to do and we've got to think about what we're doing. Not that kind of thinking. I'm talking about thinking about things that have value that we don't stop to think about. Does that make sense? We should. We should all think that God gave us this up here, right? Okay, Jay probably thinks too much. Maybe I'm a deep thinker, but does that make me wrong? Does that make me negative? Does that make me bad? Or people that don't think it hardly at all. Does that make them wrong? Does that make them bad? No. Hello, Kim Nix. Maggie Lee says, on my way to have some scans today. Have a wonderful day, Rays. Maggie, we'll all be thinking of you. Fancy Nancy says, best wishes on your scans, Maggie. And I say this also. Coffin Dolpher Sue says, hope you have a great outcome, Maggie. Jennifer Cheney says, hope you have good news, Maggie. Hi, Cindy Bullock. I'm up here at Bristol. Don't I look so precious? That's the cool thing about going to the races. I mean, yeah, there's some younger people at the races that decide they're going to do, wear whatever uncomfortable shoes and wear makeup, fix their hair perfect. Shoot. This is where I let it all go. It's not much different than how I live my life anyway. Nicole says, Mr. Wayne walking behind you is triggering me because that would be my husband's way of saying, get off that bone and let's get to fixing this. Well, I'll tell you what, Nicole, I totally get that. But Mr. Wayne, he's just going to be able to have to handle it. He knows that when I'm on the live stream or doing a pre-record or something, he knows he needs to leave me alone. He knows that, so. But that's a good insight, though. At least Mr. Wayne or your husband ain't dragging you out, right? Or calling you out. Jennifer Cheney says, just do you and be happy. Let it loose, KJ, says Norma. Wayne's the man, says Ian Austin. Thank you so much, Ian. That's very sweet. How he puts up with me, I'll never know. Nedjo. There you go. I said your name. And by the way, that's a great point right there, Nedjo. Did y'all know that one of the most beautiful things a person can hear is someone else call their name? So if you get a chance to meet someone new and you learn their name or whatever, call them by their name. It's a beautiful thing. It makes them feel like they're acknowledged. Carrie Ann says, my hair is always in a side braid and a ball cap. No makeup on unless I am at work. Well, Carrie Ann, I guarantee you, if you shaved your head, you'd still be just as beautiful as you've always been. And I say that for all of you, because no matter what's your age, how you look, or anything like that, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Not because KJ says that, but because God created us all in his image. That's my belief. That is something I know for a fact in my heart. Now, people's actions, people's words can be like a two-edged sword, but the things that come out of a person can make them ugly. I've been ugly plenty of times. Trust you me. I've been ugly. Hello, Lori Colley. I'm smoking a Marlboro Light Smooth Original Flavor cigarette. And if you're going to go down that road, Ian, of saying it's bad for my health and all that, I'm just telling you, you're not going to get very far with OKJ, okay? I know it's not healthy for me. Neither is this Red Bull. Neither is it half the freaking stuff in this world. And by the way, there are people out here that lead totally, completely healthy lives. And the environment and everything, everything's getting seeped into underwater systems and everything. It's getting injected into the food and all that. So there's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. I look at it like this. When I was a kid, I kid you not, y'all, I made mud pies. I did the whole thing. I'd get dirty. I didn't go around washing my hands all the time. I probably ingested all kind of germs that immunized me. I'm an old country girl from Tennessee that played in muddy water Didn't bother me one bit. Parisian cigarettes, Ian. Never heard of it. Beach Lady says, is it too early for some vodka in that Red Bull? First of all, OKJ would not do vodka. I don't like vodka. Uh, if I'm going to have to drink something, it's going to be Crown Royal. Okay? I honestly, I don't get into all these fruity margaritas, sex on the beach, all these different things. I just don't. And if I'm gonna have a beer, I'll have a Miller Lite. That's just me. And trust you me, I've been to England. I mean, they make the beer over there. I've drank every kind of anything you could think of just to taste it, and it just comes down to Crown Royal and Miller Lite for me, and some wine. I like Cabernet Sauvignon, so preferably an aged bottle. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, I don't even know exactly what time it is here. I know it's probably around... Honey, what time is it? Okay, what do you think it is? 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning? How's the plug going, honey? Hey, honey. Plug it in, plug it in. I love to get a smile out of him. Y'all know that, you know those things you plug into the wall that makes the room smell good? That commercial, it goes, plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. I will say that I take that a step further when I'm messing around with Mr. Wayne there. Oh, see you later, Carrie Ann. Italy is next year, Ian Austin. Wayne and I are going to go to Italy next year. We haven't set the date yet. We're going. And I didn't get to talk him into going up to the Great Lakes. We were going to go to Lake Erie when we left here. He can't do it because, believe it or not, he's here in Bristol when he shouldn't be, because the clients of his on this big contract happen to be up in Illinois right now, so that's why he's down here. He usually doesn't have to stay so close to a job like that. He can usually just visit job site to job site. But these people are, I don't know if they'll ever catch that I'm on this channel or not, but when someone pays $10,000 for a front door, KJ's just, to each their own, right? But it's just crazy. But anyway, back to this Italy thing. So we haven't gotten that date set yet. I don't know if we're ever going to get up to the Great Lakes like we were supposed to. Like he promised. Well, he didn't promise it, okay? I'll confess, he didn't promise it. He said we would. So I did bring a couple of fishing poles here, thinking that maybe while we're killing some time, we could go find a fishing hole somewhere and do a little fishing. Jet Set Jay says, may I suggest not to go to Italy in the summertime? Fall is best for many, many different reasons. Well, thank you, Jet Set Jay. Some of y'all know a heck of a lot more about that region of the world. Obviously, OKJ could research it and figure it out, but it's better to hear it from someone who's either been there or someone that, I know, instead of just reading it off some freaking Google, right? Whatever floats your boat, says Norma. Well, that would be great, Nicole. My house is on the way to Lake Erie. We could meet for lunch and go grab a long dong. Just make sure it has lots of extra cream in the middle, Nicole. Wish Dream Wish. I haven't heard from CJ in about 2 weeks, so I don't know how that's going. I'm thinking they're still seeing one another. I try not to pry. I just pray about it and hope that it all works out. Well, thank you very much, Fancy Nancy. And by the way, there are people that come on this channel, if they're starting to disrupt and say things they shouldn't be saying on here, because I'm like one of these people, you should be able to say what you want, but if it's disruptive, ignore it, block it, or report it. And if 2 or more people report it, that person's going to get kicked off of YouTube. They'll have to create a new account, and guess what? Their new account will be tied to the other one, and they're going to have a hell of a time getting back on YouTube. And I hope it's worth the stupid ass things that people say when they shouldn't even be on here if they're not going to be respectful. Well, Jessette J, it's not a long dong. It was a long john. And I was corrected, y'all, because KJ made a mistake, right? Right? But, they got ding dong. They got ding dongs, that you can eat that's wrapped in the metal paper there and everything. Why can't you have a long dong, right? Is Crash on here? Hey, Cresha. You and Jason's gonna have to come up here and go to the NASCAR races with us sometime. We go up here twice a year. You're gonna have to come on up here. We got plenty of room in the RV. We could definitely steal a few golf carts. Everybody's saying hello to Cresha. Hi, Jenny Bitty. You gotta talk KJ to understand sometimes. That's probably the best way to say it. Coffin Doffer Sue. Or I guess I don't know how to say that. Wayne, come here and say hi to Cresha.
Hi, Cresha. How you and Jason doing? Have a good one.
Did you get it fixed?
I think so.
He got it fixed, y'all. Cresha, I was telling everybody, oh, I'm up here at Bristol, right? Then our hot water heater started dripping, and Wayne went over there to mess with it, and he took the plug, and it had pressure behind it, and it went whoosh all over us. And what did we do? What did we do? We laughed about it. You know why? Because there is times in your life that you've got that moment of, this just happened. It's a shocker, or it's a stun me. And if that moment's happening, I could also take one more moment to decide how I'm going to react. And of course, when Wayne and I, soaked from head to toe, was laughing over there, the people in the camper over there looked at us like we all needed to be in a padded room, okay? I'll let him know, Cresha. Cresha's thumbs are not working properly this morning. Okay, Cresha, I'm going to teach you a new exercise. 1 and 2 and up and down and... Gotta get a little muscle around them thumbs. Oh. Ian, are you laughing at me? Ian Austin, are you laughing at me? Why in the world would you want to laugh at someone like me? Oh. Well, folks, I guess I'm going to sign off. I appreciate everybody jumping on here. It makes me feel so good that anyone even would want to. I'll get back with you. You know, it's going to be spontaneous. It's going to be spontaneous. You're going to see some different things this weekend. Cresha says, I do enough thumb exercises, KJ. I'm going to have some misshaped thumbs here. I spent years using the thumbs. Now they want to be unbreakable. Jennifer and all of y'all, Jenny, Benny, Ellen, Within Reason, Cresha, you know we love you. Ian, all of you. Nicole, all of you. I love you. Y'all have a good day. Cindy Bullock and Kim Nix and Mr. Gee and Tina Reddington. We're having a great time, Tina. Miss DMC. I don't want to miss anybody because y'all know cats or dogs. Fancy Nancy Bergbauer. Coffin Doffer Sue. I guess that's how you say it. Beach Lady. Y'all have a great day. Much love to you all and keep on looking.